Hey Flosstube, welcome back. This is, I believe, episode 5 of my Flosstube channel, Cats and Horror and Stitching. My name is Caitlin and my pronouns are she, her, and we're counting down to Christmas. I can't believe it's December. I've got my Christmas tree over here. I'll try it. Maybe I'll get a video at the end, put in at the end of the whole Christmas tree. I actually have two, well, actually, technically I have 3 Christmas trees. My big Christmas tree, my little white tree that I used as my Halloween tree. This year the kids wanted to decorate it as the pets' Christmas tree, so that's my second Christmas tree. And then I have a little ceramic light up Christmas tree that I bought myself. So yeah, I have 3 Christmas trees. But I love Christmas. Maybe not as much as I love Halloween, but I do love Christmas, and I just love decorating. Actually, that's what I really, really love. So it's December 8th. My video is a little bit late this week. It's just been a really, really busy week and lots of stuff going on, and I'm really tired, but I decided to take a day off work and get some stuff done and film a video. So that's what I'm doing today. So I've got my coffee, my afternoon coffee. Very rarely do I have an afternoon coffee, but I'm really tired and I've got to go out later. And I've got this lovely mug that one of my really good friends got me, and I love it. I got onto Schitt's Creek later than most people, I guess. I started watching it during the pandemic in 2020, and it really is hilarious. It's a good show. But yeah, I really like this mug. So I've got my coffee. I'm really tired. I don't know why I'm so tired. Life, right? Life. That's why I'm tired. This probably isn't going to be a really long video. Not that my videos are ever particularly long, but I don't have a ton to show. I do have one new start. I believe it's a new start since my last video. I have a few lips. I don't have any finishes. I don't have any FFOs. I do have a very old FFO that I thought pulled down to show you because I got it out with my Christmas stuff. So I'll show you this now. This is, I believe, I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, this is a Witchy stitcher. And this is Ghoul Tidings. I am trying not to get the glare here. I started this just before Christmas 2019, I believe, and I finished it after Christmas in 2020. So I didn't finish it in time for Christmas. And I kind of messed up. You can see on the top row, there's 4 little skeleton Santas. It's supposed to be the same down here, and my counting was off, so it ended up off. But I think it looks okay. It looks fine. The frame isn't quite big enough. It's covering up some of the top stuff, but I really loved this frame. I got it off the discount shelf, I think at Marshall's or Winners or one of those stores, and I just love this frame so much, and I think it just is perfect. So yeah, so this is a really nice, an older FFO, but I really enjoyed doing this. Like I said, I started in 2019. I didn't finish it before Christmas, but I finished it right after Christmas in January. I had some surgery in January 2020, so during my recovery I worked on this and finished it off. Oh, you can see the reflection of my kitchen over there. So there we go. So I pull this out every Christmas, obviously. It goes out. My daughter, we were getting everything set up for Christmas, decorating, and she's like, I think we should agree to not put out creepy things for Christmas. We should take down all the creepy things. And I said, no, that's not how it works. We took down all the Halloween decorations. But my style is kind of dark all the time, so we can't take down everything. So I had to laugh at that. I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, so that's a very old FFO, but one that I really love, and I love pulling it out every year. Sorry, I keep looking down because I have to look at where my coffee is so I don't knock it over. So yeah, a couple more weeks until Christmas, and I can't believe it. Trying to get everything done before I luckily don't my off week for my kids is the week leading up to Christmas. So I will have that week to get everything wrapped. It's a lot easier to do everything when they're not around. I can pull everything out and leave it out. I don't have to scramble to try and get everything done while they're asleep and then hide it all away before the morning. So it's kind of nice to be able to do that. There are some plus sides when you're separated. You have to find the silver linings, right? When your life doesn't turn out exactly how you're expecting, and that is one of them, is having a little bit of more me time and perks of the off weeks when you're with your kids. It's really, really, really busy when I have my kids because it's just me and them. But when I don't have them, that's when I try to get other stuff done and I get rest up and I do stuff for myself. And yeah. So anyways, got so many presents to wrap. So gotta do that. And I still got a few more presents to buy. So anyways, back to cross stitch. This is my only new start since my last video, and I did talk about starting this. This is, oh, let me show you the picture. Just a second. All right. This is the Barbariana Designs light. I'll get close up. I don't know if it's just my printer or what, but the colors, the shades in the picture are a lot different than the shades look when I started actually stitching it. So it's still really pretty. I'm really enjoying it. And this is probably the most traditional looking cross stitch that I've done. Most of mine are pretty modern, the ones I do, and this is much more of a traditional feel. And I'm really enjoying it. It's nice. And I really love the colors. And even though it's not necessarily a Christmas pattern, to me it feels very Christmassy. You got snowflakes, and these look like little holly berries. So in my last video, one of the commenters asked me if I could try to find the link to this pattern. I have looked everywhere. I cannot find the link. Like I said in the video when I talked about finding these patterns, I think this and the other one, the key, were freebies that were given out at the start of the pandemic. It says 2020 on there, and the date that they had on them for when I downloaded them was like March 26, 2020. So that was right when after things had really shut down here in Canada and North America. So I'm pretty sure that they were freebies posted probably on Instagram or maybe Facebook. At the time, I didn't know about Flosstube, so it wasn't there. And I didn't look for cross-stitch designers, the ones that I know of now through watching Flosstube. So the only thing I can think is that I must have seen it as a freebie posted on Instagram. And I cannot find it. I'm really sorry. I did think, though, what I might do, since I can't find the link anywhere, is once I finish stitching it, I will put it up as a giveaway and I can send it to someone if someone wants it. So I am hoping to get this done. I'm trying to make it for my sister for Christmas. I don't know if it's going to actually be done for Christmas. I, as usual, made a whole lot of plans of stuff I wanted to get done for Christmas presents. And I'm not sure if it's going to get done. But my sister's birthday is also in January. So if I don't get it done for Christmas, then I will hopefully get it done for her birthday. So yeah, so I think I might do that. Just to give it away. What is it? They call it pass the stash. Because I can't really see myself stitching this more than once. So yeah. So anyways, I'll put that away. And this is what I started. I showed you I was doing it on this kind of forest green. And this is what I have so far. Oh, we've got a random thread there. Okay. Oh, you can see my Christmas lights in the background. So yeah, I haven't done a ton, but it's really pretty. And there's my little needle minder. I ordered, after my last video, I ordered some Christmas needle minders. I got 2 of them. They're from a company called, sorry, excuse me while I rub my nose, the Sisters E, and they're on Etsy, and they're actually out of Ottawa, which is where I am. So yeah, it's really pretty. The colors are really, really pretty. I really like the contrast of the colors. And that right here is the tip of the fox's tail. So I started that. And yeah, so it's really easy stitch and I'm really enjoying it, but I do have quite a few projects on the go, which is why I'm not sure if I will get it done in time for Christmas. Excuse me. But we'll see. I might. There's still a little more than 2 weeks till Christmas. And I did take a little bit of time off before Christmas to try and get last minute stuff done. So we'll see. I might. You never know. I do a lot of stitching. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. My little start for that one. So that was my only new start. So now I have a few whips. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 whips that I've been working on. And again, these were meant to be Christmas presents that I am not sure are going to be done in time for Christmas. This one might. This one is very, very close. So this is in my kitty bag. And this is my Sushi Cat that I'm making for my son. And it is almost done. So I did do quite a bit of work on this one. You can see it a lot better now that the orange is done around the eyes and that one ear. I think the last time I showed it, I was still just working on all the white in the cat, so you couldn't really see much. But it's so cute. And I'm really, really bad with dimensions. When I read dimensions, I just can't visualize what the actual size is from dimensions. I have to get out a measuring tape. So when I bought this, I didn't realize the size. So it is quite small. You can see my hand. It's not a huge pattern. So which is good, which is why it's been a pretty fast stitch, and it's just so cute. I really like it. I'm really happy. I think my son's gonna like it. He doesn't know that I'm making him this. So this one probably will be done for Christmas. If I can figure out a frame for it, I'll have to start looking now because it usually takes me a little while to find the right frames. So yeah, so there's one. Let's take a second to have some coffee. Since I've been doing a lot of Christmas stitching, I've been trying to watch Christmas movies while I do my Christmas stitching. I have my favorites that I watch every year, and I haven't watched any of them yet. I've been sort of waiting till closer to Christmas to pull out the favorites, but I did watch a couple of new ones, which ended up being pretty good. I watched Bad Moms Christmas, which was really, really funny. I really enjoyed that. Yesterday I watched The Happiest Season, which is with, is it Kristen Stewart? The girl from Twilight. And that was a really good movie. It was very cute. I liked it. And for horror movies, I watched sort of a horror comedy called Black Friday, which is not really about Christmas. It's a Black Friday. It's a Thanksgiving. It's a zombie alien movie. It was pretty funny, pretty dumb, but also pretty funny. So those have been my 3 so far that I've watched. The ones that I always watch, I have my very specific movies, as I'm sure everybody does. We all have our favorites, right? There's the original Grinch, not the Jim Carrey one. The original was a 1960s cartoon Grinch. I have to watch that every year. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I have to watch that every year. Muppets Christmas Carol, which I force my children to watch with me every year, even though they are not that interested in the Muppets, but I love the Muppets. And then Scrooged is another one, which is not one that a lot of people, I think, remember or know. It's from the 80s, and it's Bill Murray. It's a very different take on A Christmas Carol, but it's really funny and dark humor. And I would recommend it if you haven't seen it. I don't know if it's on any streaming. I bought the DVD several years ago to watch, but it is a really, really funny, quirky version of Scrooge that I really enjoy and I watch every year. And a new favorite, a horror favorite that I now watch every year is the new version of Black Christmas that came out in 2019. And I know a lot of people aren't huge fans of it. The original Black Christmas from the 70s is a classic. I mean, it's a classic horror movie. It's a classic Canadian movie. It was filmed, I believe, in Toronto. Actually, fun fact, random fact, my mom's cousin's husband was the sound editor for that movie. He worked in the Canadian film industry for decades, and yeah, he was actually one of the ones that donated some of the first funding to start TIFF, the Toronto International Film Festival, back whenever it started. I'm not sure when it was started. But yeah, I remember him telling me that when I was a teenager, and that was pretty cool as a big film buff. So yeah, that's cool. When I watch that movie, I always see his name pop up. Yeah, Finley Quinn, that's my cousin. Very, very far removed, but a very nice man, and obviously very good at his job. I'm really going off on a tangent here. Yeah, so that the original Black Christmas is a classic, obviously. They remade it again in the early 2000s, and that one I think bombed. I've seen that one as well. It really is not. It's not as good as the first one, definitely, but I also didn't like it compared to the newer one that came out in 2019. The newer one, I think the reason I like it is because they weren't really trying to remake Black Christmas. It's kind of entirely different. It does share, obviously, a lot. It's a bunch of sorority sisters at Christmas being attacked, but the story of it is very different from the original. So I don't really like to compare them. To me, they're two different movies that just share the same theme. So anyways, so I haven't watched that one yet. That's another one of my favorites, and I will watch that soon. So yeah, back to cross stitching. Another one of my, get my coffee out here again. Another one of my whips. This is the other one that I was making this one is for my daughter. And there's a whole lot of random threads. I was just working on this one. That's why it's still in the nerd hoop. And it's got a whole bunch of random threads everywhere. This one is coming along. This is the Princess Mermaid, or Mermaid Princess. And it's really pretty. And it's coming along. You can see that's her tail. So this was printed out on 4 sheets of paper split. So I almost completely finished the top. Those are going to be her eyes. This is it calls for black 310, and these are the only stitches that have black. So I'm just waiting till the end. And then there's another light blue color that I can't find. I think they're sold out at Michael's. So I've been waiting. I need it for down on her tail as well, and I can't find it. Maybe that'll be something I do today, is head back to Michael's again and see if I can find that. So I'm more than half done. I almost completely finished the top, and then now I'm working on the bottom, which is her tail. There's the start. You can see this is the beginning of a little fish. I have to do the little fishy's tail and eye, and then there's going to be another little fish beside it. So it's coming along. These are all, as I've said before, I basically always work on Ada, and they're almost always 14 count. So this is another 14 count Ada. It looks very white on screen, but it's actually like a baby pink sparkly Ada. I think you can see the sparkles a little bit if I move it around. So it's a very, very pretty fabric, and it's a bigger piece. So once I cut it out to frame, I'll have a bit left to do something else, which will be nice. And this fabric is just from Michael's. So yeah, so that one's coming along. And then I have my 2 other Christmas ones. So I have one for me, and the other one is going to be a present as well, which is going to be hopefully for my mom. And again, this one, I think it's a lot smaller. So we'll start with my Christmas gnome, which is for me. And this is almost done. So there's a pretty good chance I will get this done. Back a little bit. I will get this done to actually frame before this Christmas. So yeah, it's very, very close. So the mug is almost done. There's a little bit, there's some lines of brown, and then I've got to fill in there's a bit missing from the whipped cream from the hot chocolate. And then a little more of his beard that needs to be done. It's kind of hard to see because it's very, the color that's going to be in there is very similar to the color that's of the Ada. And then he's got 2 little feet and a little arm. So that's pretty much it. And then a whole bunch of back stitching. So the back stitching might be the stuff that ends up keeping me from finishing in time for Christmas. I don't know. I mean, it says hot cocoa here, so that there's that back stitching. The rest of the back stitching, though, I don't know whether I necessarily need it. Like, I think it probably looks fine without the rest of the back stitching. We'll see how it looks when I finish it. I'm not a huge fan of back stitching. I don't hate it. If it's important for making the cross stitch look right, then I'm fine with doing it. But I don't know if this one necessarily needs all the back stitch. So we'll see. And this is my other little Christmas needle minder that I got from the Sisters E. So that's the Sisters, the letter E, on Etsy. Little penguin, very cute. These are really nice needle minders too, because the back is, they put a button on the magnet. So it just, I don't know. I find the ones that are just a tiny little piece of magnet on the back, I have a couple of needle minders that when I pull them out of my bag, they pop open because they get stuck on something, and then I cannot find the little tiny piece of magnet, and then they're useless. So I like this. If it did pop off, it's big enough that it probably wouldn't get lost easily. I mean, it still could get lost, but it wouldn't get lost as easily as a tiny piece of metal. So yeah, this is really cute. I did a lot of work on this in the last week because I realized I was pretty close to being able to finish it in time, and I really wanted to. So yeah, we'll work on that some more. I'm hopefully going to have one more floss tube before Christmas. So maybe I'll be able to show you some of my finishes, hopefully, fingers crossed, right? So my last whip that I worked on, which is another Christmas one, is my tiny Modernist Christmas mouse. This one is also getting pretty close to being done. It's unfortunate that the white by itself is really hard to see on this fabric. I wasn't really thinking of that when I started it. The snowman I think is going to be okay because it does have, well, there's the scarf, and it has its arms, and there's a few other details that are going to be around the snowman, so it will stand out a bit better. But these little snowflakes, and there's going to be a couple more little snowflakes, they're kind of hard to see on this light fabric, which is unfortunate. And this is another one that I'm missing a fabric color, or not a fabric, oh my God, I can't talk today. This is another one that I'm missing a DMC color for, so I'm gonna have to do another little trip to Michael's and see if I can find it. So yeah, this one is also stitching up very quickly, and this one should be done before Christmas if I just focus on it. And I have been doing a lot of stitching. I've had a few nights though even though I don't have the kids this week, I've had a few nights when I've been really, really tired this week, and by the time I get home from work and eat and clean up a bit and walk my dog, etc., I'm just too tired and just want to go to bed. So I haven't got tons and tons of stitching done this week, unfortunately. But we'll see. It goes in waves, right? I think maybe everybody's like that there's times when you do a ton and you get really focused on doing your stitching, and then there's times when you just kind of want to zone out and not do anything. And especially because when you're not paying close attention, it's really easy to make mistakes, and then you go back and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I miscounted way back here, and now you have to make the decision of, do I frog everything? Do I try to make it work even though I messed up? So yeah, anyways, thank you to one of my commenters too, who pointed out that has been hard to hear me in previous videos. I did reply to her comment that I know I'm a very soft-spoken person. I've always been told that. So I said I was thinking of getting a mic, and she said I probably should. So I did. I ordered one on Black Friday from Amazon, this tiny little mic. So we'll see. Give me a comment. Let me know if you can hear me better, and hopefully this has helped. Because I do want people to hear me, and I don't want to be yelling at my phone. It's a little weird. It's already a little weird sitting here by myself talking to my phone. So if I'm yelling at my phone, that's even odder. But I don't have any purchases, plans. Well, there's always lots of plans, right? This is the time of year when a lot of people are doing whip parades, which I absolutely love watching. I think we all love watching whip parades. I'm not going to do one just yet since I only started filming my Flosstubes in September, and I started with a whip parade. So I have had some changes because I have had some finishes and I've had some new starts. But it hasn't been that long since I had a whip parade, so I don't think I'm going to do one before Christmas. Maybe I'll do a New Year, start of 2023 whip parade so that I can have something to compare to later in the year. Plans for what I'm doing stitching wise, I don't have tons of plans. I mean, I have so many projects that I would love to start. I'm just always afraid of getting overwhelmed, and I love having finishes. And so the more I split myself between projects, the longer it takes to finish anything. So I do have some projects that I have saved and that I've tentatively put in my basket to buy on Etsy, but I haven't actually bought yet. So we'll see. I do have some new ones that I want to start. I would like, after Christmas, once I'm done my Christmas stuff, I'll get back into some of the projects that was previously working on. Like, I know now the last of the supernatural creatures were released. The last of the creatures were released for the Witchy Stitcher Supernatural Sal. So I really would like to get back into that in the new year to finish that off, because I'd love to finish it and get it framed and be able to put it up. I really want to work on my Van Gogh full coverage skull. Really want to get back into that now that I have it on Pattern Keeper. I think it's going to go a lot faster and be a lot easier to work on. So I do want to work on that. So make that kind of a priority. Since it's mid-December now, I'm finishing off this year's bullet journal. So I only got into bullet journaling this year, but I really have enjoyed it. I don't do it to the extent that I see a lot of people do it on Flosstube with the very elaborate spreads and whatnot, but I do keep track of a lot of different things. I have pages for the books that I've read and listened to, and my cross-stitch projects, and a few other things. So I would like to do that again next year. So I have to go out and get a new bullet journal, and probably in the last week of December, I'll start setting up my bullet journal for 2023. And this year, my cross-stitch pages were just a simple list of what I worked on and when I finished it. I would like to do something a little bit fancier next year. So yeah, we'll see. So anyways, I think that's it. I think we're done for today. There wasn't a whole lot, but I really wanted to come to talk to you guys, and I really enjoy this. Sometimes it's hard to find the motivation, right, to get yourself moving to do, even though there's something you want to do and you enjoy doing it once you start. Getting yourself up off the couch to actually do it some days is really difficult, and this was one of those things. I really wanted to make this video, but I also really did not want to have to make the video. But now that I'm here, I'm really glad I did. And I really love talking about cross-stitching, and I really love the comments that I get from people. And I appreciate all the likes and the comments and the views and the people that have come to follow me on Instagram. I haven't mentioned that in a few videos because I never remember, but I am on Instagram at Cats and Horror and Stitching Oh My. I am also on TikTok under the same name, although I don't post there very often. I have a few videos, but that's more videos I post for craft projects that I work on. Not cross-stitching, but other crafts. So yeah, there we go. I can't believe it's almost the end of 2022. That's crazy. So tell me, what are you doing over the holidays? Do you celebrate Christmas? Do you celebrate something else? Are you doing any Christmas or holiday or winter themed cross-stitch projects or any kind of craft projects? One of these days, maybe I'll pull out some of my other craft projects that I work on to show you guys. And yeah, are you going to be traveling, seeing family, seeing friends? Everybody does different stuff, right? So I'm pretty lucky I don't have to do any traveling over the holidays, but I am going to take some time off to spend with my family that is in town and with my kids while they're off school. And we don't do anything crazy, but it's nice to have the time off and just have some days where you get to be in your PJs and do crafts and read, and they play with their toys, and I do cross stitch, and we watch movies, and if we ever get snow. So I live in Ottawa, which is generally a very, very snowy city, and it is December 8th, and there is no snow whatsoever. Nothing. It snowed a little bit back in November, but it all melted. It has been crazily, unseasonably warm. Very, very odd. We do occasionally get green Christmases, but they are really, really rare. So as much as I don't like the cold and I don't like the snow long term, I do hope it snows before Christmas because it is enjoyable and it's fun to do the snow stuff with my kids over the holidays, to do the tobogganing and snow angels and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. Maybe next time I film, I can show you some snow outside my door. But until then, keep stitching, have fun, and we'll see you soon. Bye.